NASA reveals the principles for safe and peaceful moon exploration. Together with the European Space Agency and other partners, NASA plans to land the first woman and the next man on the moon in 2024 as part of the Artemis program. Artemis was Apollo's sister. Apollo was the last missions that we had on the moon, and so they're calling these Artemis programs. Although the U.S. Space Agency plays a leading role in the program, it expects its partners to develop it further, including by establishing a permanent presence on the moon. NASA has revealed its principles for moon exploration. It said all countries and private sector players that will join NASA's Artemis program will do so by observing the principles laid out by the agency. NASA said in their statement, it's critical to understand a common set of principles to govern the civil exploration and use of outer space. The Artemis program, of course, consists of 10 principles, and here are the most important ones. Peaceful purposes is one of the most important requirements. The agency said cooperation between countries is intended not only to bolster space exploration, but also to enhance peaceful relations between the states. Transparency is another key aspect of the program, requiring all partners to present their plans and policies in a transparent manner. Well, we know what happened with the ISS. Remember that hole that was found from inside going out? And Russia did not want to explain who did that and how it happened. So obviously there is no transparency. If you can't do it on the ISS, how are they expecting people to do this on the moon? That's my question. The third is interoperability. This principle calls on all players to utilize open international standards to ensure safe and robust exploration. Emergency assistance. Under the agreement, NASA and its partners commit to do everything possible to help the astronauts in distress. Protection of sites and artifacts that have historic value. Space resources, extraction and utilization of resources will be conducted under the auspices of the Outer Space Treaty, which was signed and ratified by 109 countries. One of the provisions states that outer space is, quote, not subject to national appropriation by claim of sovereignty by means of use or occupation or by any other means, unquote. Release of scientific data. All parties will be required to publicly release material so that the whole world can benefit from the Artemis program. The introduction of the principle comes as the agency works on returning astronauts to the moon for the first time since the 1972 landing. NASA also plans to establish a permanent presence on the moon, on the lunar surface, and especially they're interested in the moon's south pole, where there is water in the form of ice. NASA's head, Jim Bridenstine, hopes that Russia, the agency's historic ally, would become a signatory to the Artemis Accords. He said, we think it would be good for all the world to agree to the right approach to peacefully explore space. This is on Sputnik News. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.